Okay, we're going to go ahead and make a point out of the bottom of this beer bottle. And here's one that I just made this morning, a little while ago. I was out of practice, so I thought I'd go ahead and make one. Okay, we have to remove the bottom of this bottle intact. And there's a technique using a nail. I didn't think of it. I've only done it a couple of times, but I saw it on YouTube. Under Practical Primitive, there's a lady napper there named Julie, and she does a great job of making an arrowhead out of the bottom of a bottle. So what she did, and what I'm going to do, is take this 4-inch long nail here, put it in there, and just shake it up real good, and the bottom will come right out. Okay, we've got a little bit on the edge here, but the bottom is pretty much intact. Now, glass bottles are a great way for beginners to learn because glass is readily available, and you can do the entire job of making an arrowhead with nothing more than a pressure flaker and an abrader. You can use percussion if you're used to it, but if you just want to get the hang of basic flintknapping, all you need is a pressure flaker. First thing, of course, is to get rid of the sides of this glass right here. And it'll take a while to pressure flake all this away, but it can be done. You really don't need to even abrade. I'm probably going to use a little bopper. If you're going to bop something like this, light percussion flaking, make sure you go really, really light. So we've got that part down. I'll go ahead and continue around the rest of it here. Okay, it took about 5 minutes to bop the edges off all the way around on here. And we've got a great convexity there, too much actually. And we've got a concavity here. So what we need to do is braid the edges and start taking some pressure flakes all the way around here. Or you could bop it. I'm going to go ahead and just do it with a pressure flaker. Okay, the edges are braided all the way around it. I'm going to go ahead and use an issue stick because it gives me a little bit more power for pressure flaking. And just start going around this thing. Okay, here's after our first pass all the way around the edge. We're going to have to make another pass and get it down a little bit more because there's still a lot of convexity in there. As far as how to use the, I'm just shearing this edge to bring it back up this way so I can get a little bit deeper second pass. As far as how to use the issue stick, I've got some other videos on there that'll clearly explain how I go about using it. Okay, I've got the edge trimmed back. I'm going to braid it for a second pass. And this is very similar to working an obsidian flake like this. Pretty much the same thing from this point out. Okay, I've got the edge abraded, trying to push these flakes in a little bit further, closer to the center. I'll just go all the way around like that. Okay, here's what it looks like after the second pass. Still got a little bit of a concavity in there, but we'll get that later. I went ahead and drew a triangle on there. I want to just trim this back over to here rather than take forever to pressure flake it. What I'm going to do is just shear it. You can do it with this, or you can also do it with a hammerstone. Either one will shear very good, but I'll show you the copper because that's probably what you're going to be using. Just be careful when you do it that you don't put too much force on it or you will break the thing. Okay, we've got a roughly triangular piece here. We've got an almost 90-degree edge here, edge angle, which is a little bit steep. That's because it's all been done with shearing. So we just need to change that angle, maybe 60 degrees, something like that. Just take your pressure flaker, go down the edge like that. Okay, I've changed that angle to around 60 degrees right in here. What I want to do is, this is going to be my platform to remove some flakes from this and get this hump off of here. So just shear it a little bit here, back toward the face I want to, and braid it a little bit, and then we'll Use our issue stick on it. Okay, I'm just going to remove a series of flakes right along this face right here. Now I just got to change the edge angle over here. It's about 90 degrees. Change it to around 60 and do the same thing over in this face. Okay, that's around 60 degrees. Do the same thing on this edge. Notice I'm using my finger along the back, the opposite edge, so I don't put any bending stresses on it. Okay, it's still got quite a bit of curvature, so what we need to do now is remove some off this opposite face on this end and off this end right here. So I'll do the same thing, bevel that back, get it around 60 degrees, shoot a few flakes off either end on the opposite face. Okay, I'm ready to take some flakes off of this face right here. I've got the platform set up. The whole trick to not breaking these things is to support the back edge with your finger, like what I'm doing right now, and to take your pressure flaker and only press in toward your finger. If you do that, you're not going to, let me see if I'm in the frame there, you're not going to shear off the point, or not very likely to anyway, and the flakes will go clear across the piece. That's sort of an example right there. And I'm going to need to take another pass from here, do the same thing over here, and try and get that curvature out of there. We probably won't get all the curvature out, but we'll get most of it. Okay, I need to get a few flakes off this face right here. So again, I'm going to support it with the back end of my finger here and try and drive some flakes off that face. Okay, I'm going to try and get another super close up here just to show you how I'm supporting this. I'm basically putting the back edge between my fingertip and my fingernail, and that supplies a real good back edge support here. Try and keep it in the field of view and do this at the same time. Trying to see where I'm at on the camera. Okay. Anyway, that gives you an idea how that goes. I'll take a few more. I'll try and keep it back away from the lens so I can keep it in the field of view. Okay, I made a couple more passes, and the shape is completed on it now. It's just a matter of notching it, and we'll be done. It's got a tiny bit of curvature, but not too much. Okay, I like to draw where I'm going to put my notches on there, so I've got it all drawn out. Now I'm just going to use this little horseshoe nail notcher here to go ahead and finish up the notches. I've got other videos on YouTube where I show how I do this, so you can refer to those. And here's our finished point, side 1 and side 2.